Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome in if you're new here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Whether you've been stitching alongside me all year or you're just finding my channel now, I truly appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm really excited to share my end of year WIP parade with you. This is a look at where my projects stand as we wrap up the year, the progress I've made, and how each piece is coming along. As we head into 2026, my goal is simple: to finish 4 to 6 existing WIPs by the end of the year, not by rushing, but by giving each one the care it deserves. I also want to focus on my stamped kits, making sure every project I started before 2026 is either finished, meaningfully advanced, or gently let go. For the year ahead, I'll be keeping 2 guiding stitches: a seasonal WIP for each season, and a content WIP for our sit and chats together. And above all, I'm reminding myself of this: a peaceful stitcher finishes more than a stressed one. I'm so excited to share my end of year progress with you, and while it might not seem like much to you guys, for me, it's a lot. This parade isn't about speed or totals. It's about honoring the work, the progress, and the calm we carry into the new year. If you're not stitching tonight, that's totally okay. You can treat this like a podcast and just let the updates keep you company. Let's jump right in. The first WIP is SpongeBob. This was purchased in AliExpress. It is a stamped 11 count Aida with called for threads. I'm stitching this 1/1 and I started it on August 9th, 2025. In the last WIP parade, I had stitched up the bottom section, stopping right around SpongeBob's shirt. This time, I've been working from the top left corner, moving down and outward. I'm loving how the reefs and anemones are coming to life. The colors are so vibrant and Gary is really starting to pop. Here's the back of the canvas for SpongeBob and Gary. Since it's a stamped kit, it can be hard to see progress from the front sometimes, but the backside really shows how much stitching I've done. I'm loving how this one is stitching up. Quick update on Gary's shell. I picked up a skein of DMC 3716 at the craft store, as seen on your left side. It's a soft, dusty rose, kind of a warm pink with coral undertones. I'll be using this to rework Gary's shell. The original chart had it looking more like sand, which didn't make sense to me. So I'll be frogging that section and stitching it with this new color instead. I think it's a closer match to Gary's actual shell from the show, and you'll see the difference in the next video. This next WIP is The Joy of Harvest. It was purchased through AliExpress. It's a stamped 11 count Aida kit. I am using the called for threads, stitching it 1/1, and I started this September 5th of this year, 2025. Here's the before shot for The Joy of Harvest. This is one of my absolute favorite projects. I'm talking about the colors, the autumn vibe, the little details in the tomatoes and the leaves. From the last time you guys saw it, I had been working on the left side, finishing up the tomato and starting some of the branch. Here's my current progress on The Joy of Harvest. I worked on the corner left side, finishing that tomato and adding more of the branch. Every time I stitched on this one, it just makes me so happy. The colors are rich. The shading is beautiful. Not more of the shading, but more of the change in colors that are similar. And it's one of those pieces that I feel feels rewarding with every stitch. This is definitely one of my focus pieces. Here's the back of the canvas for Joy of Harvest. You can see the stitching paths from the left side where I finished the tomato and added more of the branch. It's building up really nicely, and I'm loving how clean the coverage looks from the back. This next WIP is the Teapot Cottage. It was purchased through Temu. If I'm not mistaken, the brand is Josish. It's a stamped 14 count Aida kit using the called for threads, stitching 1/1, and I started this April or May-ish of this year, 2025. Here's the Teapot Cottage before shot. I was working on the bottom of the canvas, almost finishing halfway. You can see the base of the teapot starting to form, and I was about to move upward into the middle section. Here's my current progress. I've been stitching my way up toward the middle of the canvas and just started on the top left. I haven't stitched the yellow background yet. I'm still deciding if I want to fill it in at all or turn this into a partial. I don't know. We'll just see. You can really see the teapot starting to peek through now. The door, the windows are showing, and I'm loving how it's coming together. The bottom section had a lot of confetti, but now the stitching is starting to lighten up, I could say, which gives me a nice little break. I honestly love kits from Josiche. They're confettied, but the detail they create is so worth it. They always come out beautiful. The porcupine I completed is also a Josiche kit, and I absolutely loved the results. If you'd like to see how that turned out, check out my September 2025 cross-stitch WIP parade. It's in my WIPs playlist. I did mess up a bit when I picked this one back up. I started stitching with 3 strands instead of 2. It's a 14 count kit, and I was still in 11 count mode. Luckily, it was just a small section on the top left. I noticed because it felt tight poking the needle through. Honestly though, I kind of like the look of 3 strands on this canvas. Here's the back of the canvas for Teapot Cottage. You can see the stitching paths building upward and into the middle section. This beauty here is called Exotic Beauty. I purchased her from WIP Cross Stitch. It is a stamped 11 count Aida kit. I am using the called for threads, stitching it 1/1, and I started this on October 9th of this year, 2025. This was a brand new start, and the full unboxing for this kit is in my Unboxing Corner playlist. Go check it out. Here's what she looks like right now. I've started stitching on her face, and this kit is definitely confettied, especially around her hair and facial features. It's a pretty big canvas, long-wise, and I really want to stitch on this one more. This piece is actually for my partner, so it's extra special to me. The detail is already starting to show, and even though it's a slow build, I know it's going to be stunning once she's complete. Here's a look at the back of the canvas for Exotic Beauty. Since this is a confetti kit, especially around the face and the hair, the backside really shows how much stitching has gone into those areas. I'm excited to keep working on her. This next kit is a Koi's Bloom. I purchased it from Biggest Craft. It is a Joy Sunday stamped 14 count Aida kit. I am using the called for threads, stitching 1/1, and I started this December 1st of this year, 2025. This was also a new start I added into my WIP collection, and the unboxing for this kit is also in my Unboxing Corner playlist. Here's my current progress on a Koi's Bloom. I'm loving how the colors pop. The oranges and blues are absolutely stunning. This kit is already turning out to be so vibrant, and I really enjoy stitching on it. It's going up on my oriental wall once it's finished, and I can already tell it's going to be a standout piece. Here's a look at the back of the canvas. The colors on the front are already popping, but flipping it over really shows how much stitching has gone into the koi and those floral details. This next WIP is Sleeping Santa Claus. I purchased it from Temu, and it is by Zwanloff. It's a stamped 11 count Aida kit. I'm using the called for threads, stitching it 1/1, and I started this November 1st of this year, 2025. This was my Christmas new stitch, and I was super excited to add it into my WIP collection. Here's my current progress. I started stitching from the top left, working my way down and out, then jumped to the top right and stitched downward again, ending up at the bottom right. I love how you can start to see the ornament string peeking through the trees on the top, and the reindeer's face is just starting to show here at the bottom. One thing I noticed on the sample image, the left side has a soft shadowed look, but on the canvas, it's much darker. In the snow underneath the reindeer's head, it's a deep gray on the canvas, even though the sample shows it as lighter. Still, I really enjoy stitching on this kit. It's the only one I'll be working on until January 6th, 3 Kings Day, and then I'll tuck it away until Christmas in July. Here's the back of the canvas for Sleeping Santa Claus. It's coming together nicely and I'm really enjoying working on this one. This next kit is Love Is. The designer is Carol Robinson from Jan Lin. It is a 14 count Aida counted cross stitch kit. I am using the called for threads, stitching it 1/1, and I started this back in February, March of this year, 2025. Here's what this piece looked like before, and here's my current progress. Nothing has changed. I honestly haven't touched this one since the last time you saw it. That said, I don't feel bad about it. Not every project moves at the same pace, and that's okay. I'll probably be adding this one back into my rotation, and when I do, I'll share an update with you. And the last WIP, Cat and Duck. I purchased this from AliExpress. It's a stamped 11 count Aida kit using the called for threads, stitching 1/1, and I started this September 11th of this year, 2025. I was really looking forward to this one. The concept seemed cute and promising, but this is where I left off. I really don't like how the image was turning out. The rendering just didn't work, if it was even rendered at all. I think it's very disappointing because I was really looking forward to this one. I'll be frogging it out, washing out the canvas, and adding the threads to my stash. This piece was UFO'd back on October 11th of this year. Thank you all so much for spending some time with me today and for being part of my stitching journey this year. Whether you're a new viewer or a returning subscriber, I truly appreciate you being here. I hope seeing my end of year progress inspires you to honor your own projects, no matter how big or how small. Remember, it's not about finishing everything at once. It's about enjoying the journey, one peaceful stitch at a time. If you enjoyed the WIP parade, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Wishing you and your family a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. I hope 2026 brings you comfort, creativity, and lots of happy stitching.